Ashok Mittal, he's CEO Commodities and Currencies MK Comtrade, and he joins us live on the show. Ashok, hi, welcome. Let's start with the Indian rupee first and the kind of decline that we saw, 61 breaching on the opening trade itself. Did you expect that, and how much of a further decline are you expecting for the currency now?
Hi Manisha, I think the report which we came out based on fundamentals a few months back, and we had actually target rupee to go to 62, and we are quite close to that. So I think we might go very close to say 62 in the spot market as well. So I think the pressure will continue for some more time, and especially in the wake of that, crude oil prices has actually gone up a lot, above $100 now for 9S crude oil. So I think the pressure will again build up in for rupee, because now while on the one hand gold is less in terms of import, but I think crude price will definitely hit rupee a lot. So we will expect that some more pressure remains on rupee for some more time.
Fair point. You mentioned about crude, and that also has seen a lot of gain coming in, 7% up in the previous week, and is holding just about or below that $103 mark right now. In the Indian markets, though, we have seen some declines coming in. How would you want to trade the space today?
Manisha, I think earlier we were expecting that $100 for 9S crude oil was resistance, and we had not really expected that to break, but now it has broken largely due to the geopolitical issues. We had problem in Syria earlier, then problem in Egypt now, and then we also expect some kind of a problem happening on the supply side. So I think now the good technical level becomes around $105, $106. So we will expect that it might go up further from the current levels also. But keeping 100 in the mind, we will recommend to buy somewhere around $101, $102 range, and then keep a stop loss below $100, and then expect around 105. So, or maybe slightly higher than that. So I think buying on dip should be the strategy for crude oil right now.
How would you look at the gold and silver prices now? Because we seem to be holding around that 26,000 mark quite consistently. In the international markets, though, it has been a very, very ranged market, especially after the data on Friday. You have seen pressure coming in on the New York session itself on Friday for gold. Today seems to be a stable day. How would you want to look at the prices in India?
Manisha, before gold and silver, I should say one thing about the crude oil also. If you remember earlier, we had spoken about the difference between NYMEX and Brent crude oil, and now the difference is quite low. In rupee terms also it's around say 300 rupees. So we will suggest that you buy Brent crude oil and sell NYMEX crude oil. The difference we are expecting should increase in the next few days. Coming to gold and silver, we expect that now you have seen that despite of depreciation of rupee, it has not really gone up much. So our idea is that 1250 level is a good level to sell. So you can sell between 1240, 1250, keeping a stop loss of $1275, and we will expect in international market this to come down below say 1200, around $1170, $1180, the level which actually it came, touched and bounced back. So we will expect that those levels will be retested again. In terms of rupee, I think 26,200, 300 range should be sold, and we can expect prices to go down to 25,300 odds. So we will expect that downside pressure will continue despite of depreciation in rupee. On silver also now we are way below say around $19 or so. So we will not really expect the silver to go beyond $20. So any upticks which we see around 19, 19.2030 levels on the international markets should be sold, and then we can expect coming to around 17.50, 17.80 range as a target, because that is a level which we earlier also had expected, and we are expecting that the markets will touch those levels on the international markets once again. In rupee terms, if you see on the silver prices, I think we are not really seeing these prices going above say 42,000. If you remember earlier also, these 42,000 in terms of rupee has been a very important level from where the market has been taking cue. So I think will not go above say 42,000. So sell on the upticks, and then we can expect prices coming back around say 37,000 or in silver as well. So both gold and silver are looking that on the downside will continue for some more time. So selling is advisable.
Sure. Ashok, you're buying into crude, but you're selling into precious metal space. How would that leave the base metal space then? Because Chinese concerns are still there. The European debt crisis is still surfacing into the markets, and we have seen continuous pressure because of high global inventories also coming in for this sector.
I think base metals will also remain in the pressure, because we expect the Chinese data which is expected to come on Wednesday will show the direction, but still whatever we have seen in the last few sessions has not really supported the base metal prices. So in terms, and we are seeing that copper 3 month LME forward is below $7,000. So it will not really go above 7,000 in the near term. So selling on upticks around say $6,900 on LME should be a good idea, keeping a stop loss above 7,000, and on the downside we should expect around 6,500 or 6,600. in rupee terms on MCX, I think 420 is a good level, and then we can expect downside somewhere around 406, 408 range. In fact, on a longer term basis, we will expect copper prices come down below 400 also. So here also the strategy will be base metals sell on upticks. Although whenever we see some data that might impact short term prices, but on the long term I think we will see prices being on the lower side. Now dollar index has gone to around 84.5. So although that is a little resistance level, but we can still expect some more upside happening on dollar as an index. Also we might see 86, 86.5 level.
Shrikant Jha, Managing Director at PJ Commodity Ventures, now joins in on the show. Thanks very much for being with us, Shrikant. To start off with, how are you viewing copper?
Yeah, the base metal section, we can look at actually, when you look at copper rather, you will find that copper did break a little bit of its highs in the last 1 week, but we're still not convinced about it being bullish as yet. So we still feel that selling it around 420, maybe with a stop above the 423 levels or so, and keeping your targets at about 412 and 408 would be the way that we would actually trade it. So being on the short side, I think is a better idea than actually buying into copper. So at this juncture, like I said, sell it around the 420 levels and look somewhere in the region of that 410 to actually cover it. That could be around 412 or even 408.
Right, and Shrikant, what is the advice coming through on crude at this point?
Yeah, crude is it's bullish. We have seen it now break new highs, and it had crossed the $100 mark, which is critical for it. And in fact, you saw it even move up on Saturday, even though the international markets were closed. It traded somewhere on the 6,400 levels, and some retracement can be expected. There is no point in chasing it in case you're still, if you're not already long into it. If you have a position that you're already long, you can probably hang on to that. And if you're looking to enter, it may be a good idea to just wait for a while and maybe look at 6,200 as a point to enter till about 6,400 or so. At this juncture, it is bullish. Hang on to your long positions, and if you're looking for an entry, wait till it comes down to about 6,200 and then get into it.
Viewers can make a short position in gold at a level of 25,700. The stop loss can be maintained at 25,850. Targets can be seen at a level of 25,350 and 25,120. Sell silver on jumps at a level of 41,200. The stop loss for this commodity comes at 41,650. The targets are seen at a level of 40,500. Intraday copper, we can make a sell position at 414 levels. The stop loss can be maintained at 417. Targets are seen at a level of 409. Crude is a buy only above 6365 levels. The stop loss is 6320. Targets can be seen at a level of 6430 and 6480.